Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the market call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. This morning, we will be going into the analysis very quick. And one thing I want you to do right now is just share the link as much as you can. Share it with your friends, your relatives, everyone you know who needs to be on this call. Share the link with them so that we can all be on the same page and at the same time get the best of what we want to do this morning. So this morning we are going to be starting with the dollar index. From the dollar index, we look at the dollar correlated pair, and we are going to go into the precious metal, and lastly, we'll be going straight to Japan to see what is going on the yen basket and the other yen correlated pair. All right, so let's start this morning with what is going on the dollar index. All right. So if you look at the dollar index, you are going to observe from the weekly. Let's pick it from the weekly time frame. What are we seeing on the weekly time frame? Yes, everywhere is very bearish all the way to the downside. Even we've not seen a clear market structure shift on the weekly time frame already, but we are expecting that there should be some level of shift so that we can continue all the way back up. And if you look at it from the daily time frame, you are going to observe we already have a market structure shift on the daily time frame of the dollar index. And one thing I want you to understand also is the lower time frame makes up the higher time frame, even though the higher time frame controls the lower time frame. All right. So since the daily time frame is already giving us a market structure shift, then that means with time, the weekly time frame also will tends to move in that direction too. All right. So on the daily time frame, we already see some level of market structure shift, but we are still expecting there may still be the last push to take out the liquidity here, then we begin to move all the way to the upside, just as the way we sent the analysis to us on Sunday for what we are expecting in the for the week. And today being Friday, then we see what has already played out in the market. We're expecting the dollar index to be bearish for this week before the bullish move. And we've been seeing what has been going on since Monday to the downside. All right. So let's check on the 4-hour time frame what is going on with the dollar index. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we are going to observe, yes, structure is very clear that we are pushing up to the upside, right? And we see where price came into this 4-hour order block here is what price came to test and is pushing up. But we are still of the opinion that before the last move that broke structure, then price should still come all the way to take out liquidity at this point and we'll continue our move to the upside. So today, what are we looking out to see on the dollar index? There's the high tendency for the dollar index to still push more to the downside today, be a bearish day. And what should we expect on the dollar correlated pair, since this is what we are seeing on the dollar index itself. All right. So let's go to the dollar correlated pair, starting with Euro USD. Now, if you look at Euro USD from the weekly time frame, you are going to observe that yes, price is, bullish, pushing to the upside from the weekly time frame. Look at this last week, you can see price is bullish. However, there are still levels where we expect price to still, trade into on the weekly time frame so that then we can now begin to see the massive fall of the Euro USD. Now, if you look at it on the weekly time frame, this is a POI that we are still expecting price to trade into on the Euro USD weekly time frame. You can see that is a fair value gap there. And also there are liquidity at the top here that needs to be taken out on the weekly before we begin to see the massive sell to the downside. And on the daily time frame, what are we seeing on the daily time frame right now? We're also seeing that we are still very much bullish. Yes, I know we've seen some level of market structure shift here. Now, until we see a clear move, that's when we begin to follow through to the downside. But if not, I'm still of the opinion that there's still much room for Euro USD to push a little bit forward to the upside. This look more like a sweep of liquidity for me instead of a break of structure. All right, because of the momentum candle that follows through after this sell. All right, so that is that on the daily time frame. Now, for the 4-hour time frame, what are we looking now to see on the 4-hour time frame? Yes, if you are going to see what wants to play out, we need to just support the dollar index with the Euro USD chart. And if you look at it, if you are just opposing that right now, you're going to observe that there's still room for the Euro USD to buy a little bit more to the upside, particularly to this level that we are seeing here. I'm still expecting that price is most likely going to come and take up liquidity. At this point, this is going to be a very strong move for me. If price takes out liquidity here, then we can look for opportunity to short first around this place, and we short all the way to the downside. But if you are trading lower time frame, this is on 4-hour time frame, is a key level on 4-hour time frame. So allowing price to come all the way, trade into this level, 17,700 is the point there. So allow price to take out that level, trade into it, and we begin to sell to the downside. Now that sell, when the sell comes all the way, we are seeing more of a very sweet box pattern somewhere here, and price coming all the way to tap into this low. When price get to this zone, then we can easily still follow through. Now buy to that weekly POI that we saw, which is this level here on the weekly time frame, this weekly fair value gap that we saw here. So if price trade into this 4-hour POI, then we can easily start buying all the way to that level. But we want to see some level of sell around here. And even at the same time, you go to the lower time frame, you are seeing some lower time frame, like more like a prompt inside of this zone. And let's check that out on the 1-hour time frame. Yes, this is it on the 1-hour time frame. And you can see this is looking more like a shoulder get point now. And we see the sharp move and also the break to this downside. So I'm of the opinion that we may see a first move somewhere here around this level if price is going to take out this liquidity level first, one, or price is just going to tap into this other block that you are seeing here. Price tapping into this other block, and we are going to see the beginning of the sell. So this is a low probability trade if you want to take it, meaning price is expected to trade all the way into this other block. When price get there, begins to sell or take out this liquidity and begins to sell with stop loss just at the top here. So this is just about 24 or 25 pips SL if you are taking it right from this other block. But if you are waiting for price to take out this liquidity level and you want to start trading it, that's about 15 pips. All right. So that is going to be the trade for today. Okay. So that is it there for Euro USD. And if that happens and price just delivered and give you your 1:2 or 1:3, you can come out of the trade because of that 4-hour POI where we still expect price to come all the way into to come and take out liquidity here, and we begin to see a sell, real move of the sell all the way back down here on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so that is that for Euro USD. Now for the buy side of it, next week, I believe price shouldn't today, because we really did not have much fundamentals that is really going on today for today, meaning to see price move all that much to like 300 or 200 pips to the downside. We really don't have that today. But into next week, you are going to see from our analysis on Monday, you see where we are heading to next week for it. And if you want to look at it right here, and this is it for the buy that we're talking about, we already see this is the NFP move 2 weeks ago, and this is the shoulder here. So we expect price to come and tap into this other block because the buyers who took over, who pushed price very much to the upside here, won't allow them to be liquidated when price comes back to that zone. So that's why I'm putting a pending order around this other block here for price, and price taps into it, start buying, or tap into this zone here because of this last shoulder that we have here. So that is that for the Euro USD on the 1-hour time frame. All right, let's quickly go to GBP USD. Let's see what is happening on GBP USD so that we can easily follow through again. All right, for GBP USD, if you look at it on the weekly time frame too, we are still very much bullish all the way to the upside. However, if you look at within structure, we are seeing more like a market structure break, shift in market structure rather, somewhere here. But it becomes much more obvious on the daily time frame, and this is it on the daily time frame. You can see the shoulder here, the sweep, then the break happened with this last move here. So we expect that price will come all the way, take out this liquidity and start selling. And that is exactly where price is currently now on the daily time frame. So where GBP USD is right now is a sell zone, all right, where price is right now. It's already tapped that level since day before yesterday, and yesterday again it went properly into it. So for today being Friday, there's high tendency because of the buy we are also still expecting on the Euro USD, and at the same time the sell we expect to see on the dollar. We may now see price, push a little bit more into these zones here, right? Or particularly trading to come and tap into this daily order block. If price by any chance tap into this daily order block, and that's going to be a very high probability trade for us to start selling the GBP USD all the way to the downside. So that is the outlook for GBP USD. So we expect price to tap into this daily order block downside. So that is that for GBP USD on the daily time frame. But if you want to take the trade right now where price is, yes, it's a very great move. Just that the SL is going to be a little bit wide. It's about 211 pips SL. So if you are a swing trader and you just want to ride it for a long, you can try your best in trying to get now. But let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see what exactly is happening on 4 hour. Now, if you look at we're expecting to get to, and that, however, we are still expecting price to still come a little bit more. This is that daily order block zone. So if price gets to this level, then we can start shorting to the downside. Let's check 1 hour time frame. What is the real move on the 1 hour time frame? Now, for 1 hour, our boss pattern is not really showing up on the 1 hour time frame. Instead, we are seeing consolidation, break, and we are not seeing price. Price did not really do that move we expect it to do. It has not really done it. So we just wait for price to still push a little bit more upside because of our expectation on the dollar index. So for GBP USD today, the trade today still remains when we see clear structure for a sell, we sell to the downside. And that is what we are waiting for because price has already got into the sell zone on the daily time frame. And that is what is most likely to happen moving forward. All right, so that is that for the dollar correlated pair and the dollar index itself. I know some will say, why can't we just look at the 15-minute time frame to see what is going on if we are going to see any move on the 15-minute time frame? Yes, this is the 15-minute time frame, a lower time frame that you may not have enough piece trading. All right, but looking at it, all we are still seeing is consolidation and break. We are not seeing any bust pattern in this case at all. So just let's wait. But if you have your own strategy that gives you room to trade within this kind of market condition, you will go ahead to, try your luck and see what becomes of it. All right. But looking at the overall at the higher time frame, price is still telling us that yes, we are in a sell zone, but let's wait properly to see the sell signature print out well, and we can easily follow through. All right. So that is that for GBP USD. Now a quick one to the precious metal to see what is now going on the precious metal. For this week, the precious metal has just been a very bearish move. Even though it's trading within the range, you can see, yes, overall on the weekly time frame, we are bullish. But since this consolidation is been so confusing to everyone, but if you trade within the range, you get your share of the range and move out. However, we are that the weekly trend line has been broken since the 25th of July. And we'll see how that the trend line is being tested back here. But there's still room for price to go a little bit up to join the weekly trend line that we've been following long ago. All right, this is it here. So now if you look at it after this consolidation, we are still expecting some sharp move to the upside before the real move to the downside, meaning the sell party will start happening. Because the moment we see the dollar index itself begin its strong rally, then that is telling us that gold is going to sell. Because this bull run for almost over 2 years now is a big thing. But let's see what exactly is going to the pullback would look like. All right. But the now trade, because of this consolidation, we are still going to be trading within this consolidation because it's on the higher time frame than the weekly and daily time frame. So we can go to 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes to look for entry, meaning we sell at premium and buy at discount. We sell high, buy low. All right. So if you look at the 4 hour time frame, what exactly is going on the precious metal right now? We are going to observe that what we have on the precious metal right now on 4 hour time frame, yes, price is still within the consolidation, but if you look at the consolidation itself, price is in the mid unit at the midpoint of the range. So if price is in the middle of the range, you don't want to find yourself, speculating within that level. Why? This is the time that the precious metal is telling you, go and rest, go for holiday, go and rest. And right now, on the 4 hour time frame, yes, we've seen market structure shift to the downside. What we are still expecting is a buy all the way to this 4 hour order block. Then we can now consider selling to the downside. All right, so that is what we are looking out for. But the buy signature is not really showing clearly right now. So if we go to our 1 hour time frame, we are going to observe even on the 1 hour time frame, everywhere seems to be very quiet. All right, for the precious metal. Imagine since Monday, look at the range at which price is trading. No move to the upside, no move to the downside. There is no any performance on it at all. It's just there watching. So what you and I will do is, this is the time where as a trader, you tend to, master your skill and master your sense of patience to watch the market, play and print out your own level. Let it print out your level. All right. And this is exactly what it is all about right now. Okay. So on the 1 hour time frame, what are we seeing there? We are just seeing price, clearing liquidity to the low and without momentum to the upside. But we are still expecting the sharp move all the way to the upside to happen for the precious metal. Now on the 15-minute time frame, yes, even if you want to trade the boss pattern on the 15-minute time frame, what we are looking at now is there is no any boss pattern for us to buy. Instead, I would advise if you truly want to, then wait, allow price to come and take out the Asian low. When price takes out this Asian low, because that means we are going to consider this as a sweep of liquidity. Why this we are going to consider here as a break of market structure. So we are expecting price to come back to take out the Asian low for today, and we can look for opportunity to long all the way to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting for the precious metal for it to do. Price should come all the way down here, somewhere here, and when price does this, then we can easily look forward to buying to the upside. But where price is now is mostly advisable for us to just wait and let price trade out of the midpoint. Don't force any trade. Allow price to trade out of the midpoint. When it gets to premium on the 4 hour time frame, we sell. And when it gets to discount again on 4 hour, we buy, because we are in a very strong consolidation. Don't let us force any trade. But if price comes here and take out this liquidity point and you think you have enough to give it a shot, because this is a very low probability trade, you have the enough capacity to give it a shot, you can just give it a shot and test out your move. All right. So that is the outlook on the precious metal right now, particularly on the lower time frame. Because on the higher time frame, we are in a consolidation state. All right. So let's get to see what exactly is going on the yen basket to know what we have going on there. All right. Now straight to Japan. If you look at what is happening, Since the opening of the week, even last week, we've been expecting price to trade and take out this liquidity for us to start buying. Because this time last year is what we've been looking at to see it. This time last year, we saw the rally all the way to the upside before this short and a very long consolidation here. So we've been expecting that, yes, the yen basket should take out liquidity and start pushing all the way to the upside. But right now, we are not really seeing anything showing up on it at all. All right. And if you look at it on the daily time frame, we are going to observe for daily time frame, what we have playing out here is that we still expect price to pull a little bit more to the downside just for it to clear liquidity. And if you look at what we have here, it's looking more as if we are having a bust pattern, but I won't call this a very clean liquidity sweep because the sharp move was not really that much clear. Okay, so let's go to the 4 hour time frame to see the yen basket on 4 hours. Now, on the 4 hour time frame, we've seen how that price, cleared all the move to the downside. And remember, on Monday, what we're expecting is that price should trade into this zone. When price trade into this zone, particularly this fair value gap here, we tapped into it, then we can give it the best shot for us to buy. But price did not really get there before the buy begins or the week up. So I'm still of the opinion that today, being Friday, we may see the last leg to the downside or into Monday and Tuesday for the yen basket. So this is what has been going on the yen basket. Everywhere has been a kind of quiet week this week. And if you just oppose that with the yen correlated pair, starting with GBP, JPY, you are going to observe, yes, the same thing is happening on JPY. And especially on the daily time frame, we expect JPY to still come and trade into this POI at top here, this fair value gap here. So we're expecting GPY to trade into it. And that is why we see price, rallying, but pushing to the downside again. So if you go to your 4 hour time frame for GPY, you are going to observe that, yes, we've not seen any market overshoot to the downside. Everywhere is still very much to the upside, okay? And on the 1 hour time frame, what exactly are we seeing there? We see consolidation break, just like what we are seeing on GBP/USD is what is playing out on JPY. So in the long run, we still expect a bullish move, a strong pound. You get the point now. So it's giving us a confirmation of a strong pound. So we are going to see the GBP moving forward into next week. We are going to see if it's going to complete that last move to its POI, both on USD and on JPY. All right. So that is what we are expecting right now. And on 1 hour, looking at the current move on the 1 hour time frame here, what we have is we have consolidation and break price coming all the way to attempt to take out this liquidity here and start falling to the downside. Yes, this will have been a very clean move. If we had come earlier, this would have been a very clean move since yesterday afternoon. All right, so this is one of the real moves that we can easily take. But because of this consolidation, it's most better wait to see your trade pattern, your trade entry. So it's not every time that, yes, we keep pulling trigger. It's not every day, but there are times you just patiently wait and see your trade pattern shows up on the chart. So for the GBP/JPY right now, price is still telling us that we're in consolidation, but POI is still at the top. So meaning we can see anytime buy to the upside. I think when we see the break of this high now, as price is coming all the way down, we just buy at this 4 hour order block here, but we don't know what will come from it. So let's go to the lower time frame, 15 minutes specifically, to see what is happening there on the 15-minute time frame. Yeah, on the 15-minute time frame too, we have similar thing playing out. So what is in this market today is just be patient. Be patient. There's nothing really pushing or moving right now in the market until we see a clear structure. Although price came all the way to take up liquidity here, which is a very good move for itself since yesterday afternoon. But since we are not on it, so just let's wait to see a proper move again. Now, the proper move that I would expect on this 15-minute time frame is if price is going to take out liquidity, this particular low here, if price is going to take it out, then we can easily give it a try if we see any entry signature, meaning our bullish engulfing candle somewhere around this low. When price take out this low here, then we can easily start buying when price take out this low here. All right. So that is that for now for GBP JPY. And lastly, Euro JPY, we are going to, for we call it today for Euro JPY, we have similar price action too on Euro JPY. On Wednesday, I was shorting, Tuesday rather, yes, Wednesday, I was shorting Euro JPY, and price reverses all the way back up, because if you look at the 4-hour time frame, you are going to observe we have a clear bounce pattern on the 4-hour time frame for Euro JPY for itself. Now, this is the shoulder, this is the sweep, and this is the break. Compared to GBP JPY, this is a very clear structural pattern on the 4-hour time frame of Euro JPY compared to GBP JPY. So Euro JPY is giving a very clear move of itself now, and what we are seeing, we see price reverse all the way back up yesterday. But I'm still of the opinion that we are still pushing to the downside, so we are still going to see it complete its 1:2 and move that way. However, if by any means price reverses back, there's still another POI somewhere at the top here. If you look at the 1-hour time frame, so if you are the type who you don't want to risk much on that trade, this is another entry here that we can easily take. So this is another shoulder at the top here. You can see this is a shoulder, this is a sweep, and we've seen the break. So I'm still expecting, I have a pending order sitting just right at this particular point. And you can see the fair value gap here too. So this is also a fair value gap that price can tap into and start selling all the way to the downside. So that's another entry for the sell if you miss this current one going on. All right, now on the 15-minute time frame, what do we have happening on the 15-minute time frame of Euro JPY? Now, for that, we are seeing that market created some shift to the upside, and now it's pushing back again. We know that it's the higher time frame that is really pulling price to the downside. So we look forward to price pushing more to the downside compared to up. But if by any means price pull up, then it's coming to this 1-hour POI, just the way we analyze at this point. This is where it's going to be a very strong sell for us to the downside. That is going to be around the 173 spot 500 level. So we look forward to shorting around 173 spot 500. That's going to be a very good QP for us to start, shorting Euro JPY from. All right, so that is it. I said UJ. All right, if there's any question, just type in the chat box. I already have some questions there, so we are going to quickly look at it. Salawade says, French banks are on holiday today, so the volume of exactly the point. So that's why today seems mostly to be like a very quiet day in the market. So that's why even the structural pattern are not really given that way. In GU, where do we expect liquidity sweep at the top side before selling? For GU, now if you look at GBP right now, we've not really seen any liquidity sweep. And the liquidity sweep I'm expecting is price coming to take out this particular high clean. Let price take it out. But the whole of this zone, looking at it from the daily time frame, the whole of this zone to this top here is a sell zone. So I'm still expecting price coming all the way to take out this liquidity here to give us a very clean box pattern. Let us see that sharp move to the upside. And also on the daily time frame, this 1-hour order block that you're seeing here is really a big deal for me. So we should expect price, come. There's high tendency price is still going to come and trade into this 1-hour daily order block. And if that is going to happen, then that means we are going to see that real boss pattern print out, meaning price a sharp move to take out this liquidity here before we begin to see the sell to the downside. All right, so I believe I've been able to answer your question, right? So for how can I reach Abigail? We talk on fundamentals. I tried the Telegram, but it cannot allow me send. Sorry, I don't get this, but you can easily contact Abigail on Instagram handle Sabi Abi, all right? So you can reach her on her Instagram handle, right? So someone said check UJ AJ. Who? That's a very big one. So what will be the impact of Trump's meeting with Putin as regard Russian-Ukraine war, especially on DXY? Well, I'm actually not a chart. Like now, we are all traders, and decision that comes is what is when the report is being released. That is when we know the impact in the market, and that gives us the long-term impact in the market. But the meeting they've not had, and we don't know the outcome of it. I don't know how we are going to interpret that right now. All right, so the best thing we need to do is, yes, the structure is already giving us what we should look out for. We're expecting a strong dollar. Looking at the structure right now, we're expecting a strong dollar, and at the same time, the yen to sell a bit before buying. Okay, so those are the two things we are looking at. And if those two safe haven assets are bullish, then we should be seeing the Babylon of GBP USD and Euro USD, anything USD JPY, we should see them, collapse to some extent, right? After this long they've held on, we should see some ease on it, meaning they should still sell to the downside a bit. All right. So just let me just pick Solomon AUD JPY. That's going to be the last pair. Just a quick that said it's giving a buy signature. On what time frame, please? Now, if you look at it from the higher time frame, the buy signature I'm still expecting on the AUD on the higher time frame is still below. So what I'm saying right now is still for you to sell a little bit more before this buy begins. And if you look at it from the 1 hour time frame, we are going to see where the real buy party is sitting. This is the buy party right here. Within this zone, so it's going to be within this zone to this entry. So this is the reason why I am still expecting a buy. The buy party should happen somewhere here, right? For AUD. But if you are looking at it on the lower time frame, maybe 15-minute time frame, even on the 15-minute time frame, I'm not seeing the buy move right now. It's not really giving. Yes, you can call this a growth pattern. This is a shoulder to sweep the break. Price came all the way back into this reference point for the buy to the upside. Yes, you are correct. But if you don't join this buy from this place, trying to join here, because if it's going to buy from this place, this Asian eye should be your target, right? But since price already get to the midway, and you can see the heavy move still coming down, but I'm still expecting the overall move that price should still come to this downside. Then you can now buy AUD from this low to the upside. All right. So that is going to be all for the market color for today, brought to you by the Value for Trading team. I hope I've been able to answer some of our questions, the ones I can, and till we meet again by 2 p.m. for the New York session. Make sure you trade cautiously, use your proper risk management strategy, and one of the advantages you have as a trader is the ability to control yourself. So if your setup is not showing up, then don't pull up the trigger. All right. So to meet again by 2 p.m. and make on hearing. Cheers and God bless.